People ask me whether being vegan is expensive, and honestly it can be if you don't plan. Most of the foods that I buy is actually tax-free. In South Africa we have 19 foods that are tax-free. Considering my dietitian actually told me that my body age is now 5 years younger. So if that's not enough of a motivation for you to go on a plant-based diet, then I don't know what is. So just know that I'm more than happy to share my experience as a vegan, and that this video is for the purpose of encouraging those who want to follow a plant-based diet, living a vegan lifestyle. And I'm saying a lifestyle because I really believe that it is a lifestyle, not just a diet change. It's a journey that you are going on yourself, and that it shouldn't ever be forced on anyone. Watch to the end of this video because I also have a giveaway for one lucky subscriber to the value of over 1,000 Rand from BWELL Foods. They have been kind enough to gift one of you with some cooking essentials. After you watch the video, enter the competition first, and then go and check the description because there's going to be a recipe. There's going to be a link to tax-free foods that you can buy, because veganism is definitely not expensive, contrary to popular belief. And just bear with me, this is why I decided to create a series, because there is literally so much to talk about, and I honestly love this lifestyle so much. I can't even imagine going back to eating meat, but I don't want to overwhelm you, so that's why I decided to share it in a series. And in the next video, I'm actually going to talk about my family and friends' response to me being vegan, because being a person of color in South Africa, coming from a culture that I do, it has just been really different, a really interesting learning curve, not just for myself but for my family, by me introducing this diet in my own life and them slowly also choosing plant-based alternatives. So I'll talk about that in my next video, but now I'm just going to get into the 15 tips that I think is really helpful for you to transition to a plant-based diet. And these are tips that I learned throughout the years of being vegan. I've been vegan for 3 years now, and I've also consulted doctors and a dietitian on the type of foods I must eat and the supplements I should be taking. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to say is that you think of it as a creative outlet. I know that it might seem a little extreme, but think of it as painting or starting a new hobby, because you really are trying something new. And there's so many new flavors, styles of cooking, and lots of different colors even that you're going to explore with, because I find that I enjoy cooking myself and trying different recipes and veganizing every single thing that I loved eating in the past. If you're going to be going into a plant-based diet and thinking about what you're going to be missing, and thinking of a plant-based diet as a sacrifice, you're not going to be open to trying new flavors and new cooking styles. The second thing is that you start small. If you feel that it's going to be difficult for you to stop eating meat completely, think of, I'm going to stop eating meat for 5 days, or I'm going to stop eating meat for 1 day. Try and go slowly and take it 1 day at a time, because you're not going to conquer your entire life in one go. You're going to conquer the day, and then in that way you're going to succeed in life. Next thing you know, it's 3 years, because look at me now. Squash your concerns. There are lots of recipes on the internet. You could literally just Google vegan whatever you want to make, and you will find a veganized recipe. But if you're not sure whether you're going to get enough nutrients, go see a dietitian, go have a consultation, and have a check the nutrients that you might be lacking or stuff that you need to include in your diet. Be prepared. This is literally my biggest flex when it comes to being vegan. A lot of people ask me whether being vegan is expensive, and honestly it can be super expensive if you don't plan. Most of the time I'm preparing my own meals. I always ensure that I buy my food weekly, because I prefer to have fresh food that I do buy, I will freeze myself, because I don't like buying frozen food that I then need to refreeze. I also choose to buy whole foods, which is basically clean fruit and veg that look the same, more or less the same as what they look like when they came out of the ground. So like carrots and onions, potatoes. I prefer to buy the whole foods rather than the cut up ones, because you'll find that if you go to a shop like Woolies, the whole foods are much cheaper than the foods that are actually cut up, because when you're buying foods that are cut up, you're actually also paying for the labor and the packaging.
Carrots, I just love carrots to snack on. Oranges for my vitamin C. Sweet potatoes because I like to make my own chips. So I do like my microwave sliced chips. You can check my Instagram highlights to see how I make those. It's literally so easy.
I like to prepare my lunch in the morning. By the time it's lunchtime, I know that I have something prepared already, and I prefer to cook my own food. Tip number 4 is that you sort out your essentials first. So what will you have instead of butter? What type of dairy-free milk do you choose? You soak and cook your own beans instead of buying tin beans. My Instagram family already knows that I'm not a fan of soaking and cooking my own beans, and I know it's not the healthier option to use tin food. So that's just one choice that I've made for myself. Don't skimp on snacks. You're going to want to indulge. Allow yourself to have the chocolate, allow yourself to have the burger, allow yourself to have the pizza. I don't ever deny myself those kind of things. 80% of the time I am eating healthy because I'm mostly cooking my own food during the week. Be open-minded to try new foods. There are things that I eat now that I never even would have imagined I would eat. Rice noodles, tempeh, tofu, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds. I didn't grow up eating chickpeas as a child. There are so many different flavors that you're going to be exploring, so many new recipes that you can try and that will be interesting for you. Like I said, first, try and see this as a creative outlet. It's an opportunity for you to learn more about what else is out there. You choose whole foods. Now, I already explained why I choose whole foods. Firstly, it's cheaper. I'm not paying for like cut up food. Secondly, it's healthier because having a whole food that I'm cutting up myself, I know exactly what is in it. It still maintains its nutrients. And then in South Africa, we have 19 foods that are tax-free. I'm going to leave a list to the tax-free foods in the description so that you can see what is tax-free. But most of the foods that I buy is actually tax-free, and that means that you are buying the product for its exact cost and not by as a markup from the seller or the government. Kitching, eat mock meat foods to transition. I already said that there's so many other options you can try. A burger is not an animal, it's made from animals traditionally. So don't feel bad if you feel that you want to have some mince. Beef is not cow. You're not eating cow, you're eating beef. Pork is not pig, you're not eating pig. So don't feel bad if you feel inclined to eat a certain type of food that imitates another. You go easy on the beans and the grains. So just because beans and grains are really light and they're packed with protein, and I know that you're probably thinking, I'm not eating steak, I'm not eating mutton or whatever type of meat you eat, that you need to really up your protein. But there are lots of different options like broccoli and peanut butter. By the way, did you know that if you eat 100 grams of peanut butter, you'll get the same amount of protein that you would get from 100 grams of steak? Just because you're wanting to up your protein doesn't mean that you now have to go have a whole cup of lentils or a whole cup of chickpeas or a whole cup of kidney beans, because your body is not used to eating and digesting those type of foods. So you'll definitely be prone to gassiness. In some cases, yes, your body doesn't agree with the food, but transitioning is all about introducing the food into your diet gradually. Veganize your favorite recipes. This is one of the first things that I did when I started on this journey. There were so many foods that I felt like I really missed. I missed cheese, I missed custard, I missed malva pudding, I missed milk tart, but I can still have all of those things because I'm able to veganize it now. And like I said in the beginning, you can go and Google vegan whatever you want to make, and you will literally find the recipe because there are so many vegans in the world. So many options. So a trick that my dietitian taught me to ensure that I'm getting enough macros, my proteins, my carbs, my fats, is to ensure that I divide my plate into 3. So I ensure that I have 50% fruit or veg on my plate, and then 25% protein and 25% carbs. For example, if you decide that you're having a stew for the day, you have 25% rice, you have 25% whatever protein like mince you're having, and 50% veg. Monitor the changes. It might seem like a little bit of work, but jot down any changes that you feel happens after a week of you being on a vegan diet, whether you feel lighter, whether you feel like your concentration is better, whether you feel less tired. I personally feel more focused. Try to recall how your body is changing, because it's not the things that you are missing or running away from that will help you maintain this lifestyle, but it's the benefits that you feel you receive from maintaining a vegan diet that's actually going to help you stick to it. To get the right supplements. Now, this is not just for vegans, this is for everyone. Doctors will tell you that most people lack vitamin B12, but for vegans it's especially important that you have B12. I take a B12 supplement. It's by Salga, and I also take an iron supplement. I'll also leave a link to the PROVEG website in my description. Here you'll be able to learn more about the supplements that vegans take. They have over 300 recipes on their website for you to try and veganize. And just going on that with supplements, when I went to see my dietitian, I'd already been eating well, and I just wanted to reassure my family, which I will talk about in the next video. I'm actually healthy, I'm doing fine, I'm not sick. She recommended that I go get a blood test. The only thing that I was lacking was vitamin D, which is why I then started on a vitamin D supplement, but now that's all over, and I actually just ensure that I get 20 minutes of sunshine every day. While we're also doing our consultation, my dietitian actually told me that my body age is now 5 years younger. So if that's not enough of a motivation for you to go on a plant-based diet, then I don't know what is. By me just living my life, by me just eating healthy, by me just thriving as a vegan and enjoying this journey so much that I feel like I want to cook more and I want to share recipes with my friends and family, they have naturally opted for dairy-free alternatives like milk and not eating butter and plant-based alternatives like burgers, and not all of them going completely vegan or completely plant-based, but being open to the idea that would never even have been an option if I hadn't chosen to do it myself, and because I didn't force it on anyone. Of course, now that I'm vegan, I really just want to use plant-based products. Some vegans eat honey, some vegans still wear wool, some vegans still use leather. It's really up to you. I personally still have some leather items, some watches and things that I won't throw out because I already had them, but I won't go out and buy new leather or silk clothing because that's obviously animal derivatives, and I choose not to because that is my belief. Now for the competition, it's your chance to win. All you have to do to win is comment what you will be making with your BWELL cooking essentials and be subscribed to my channel. Yes, I'm going to check whether you subscribe to my channel, but it's really that easy. The winner will be announced in my next video, and I will obviously be contacting the winner privately. Good luck, and thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you're obviously really interested in adopting a plant-based diet or maintaining the diet and finding out whether it's affordable, whether it's sustainable for you, and I promise you that it really is. It's not expensive. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about, like I said, how my family and friends responded to me being vegan, and also share with you my weekly food budget and the stuff that I eat during the week. So if you do want to watch that next week, then definitely subscribe to my channel so that you're notified when I upload that video. And we'll see you in the next one.